Hey everybody, it's another rendition from the Good Life Bookstore, the scene and spoken interview. It is your boy Good Life Russ.
I am Chloe Simone, and we are here with the fabulous Dria Andersen. I'm super excited for this interview. So, a little bit of background: Dria is a mother of two, but she also says she is a lifelong storyteller. I love that. She crafts stories that center Black women with heart, strength, and agency, and she blends romance with elements of fantasy and wonder. So, Dria, please expand upon that. Tell us a little bit more about who you are.
So I am I am a girl who likes all things fantasy, right? I love dragons and fairies and all the things that make Black girls whimsical. Do you know what I mean? And so I try
Yes.
to write books that cater to that woman. I want to write a book about a Black woman who has this extraordinary thing happen to her. That's what I love to do.
I love that.
So, give us a little insight on your journey with books. Did you grow up writing? Did you grow up reading?
So I am a voracious reader. Like I can't remember not reading. I would imagine from the first moment I learned how to read, I have always been reading. My family used to tease me because we would have an event and Adrienne would always be in the corner reading a book. Like if you were looking for me, I was in the corner reading a book. And that's been my whole life. And then writing sort of, I mean, once you're reading and you read so much, because I would read, I'm talking about 5 books a week. Like I was going through books. And once you get to a point where you've read all these books, then it becomes in your mind, well, what happens if this happened? What would it be like if this happened? And then you start crafting stories. And I used to write them in my notebook. And I'm telling my age, but back when there were zip drives and floppy disk,
Yeah,
like I used
yeah.
to have a hardware that came with me, every new device that had a whole bunch of stories on them. So it took me until, I don't know, I think I was like 27 or 28. I had my son and I was sitting at home, right? And I'm not a person who can sit. So I'm sitting at home, brand new baby. And I was like, well, I have this disc with all these stories on them. Let's see what we can do. So that's how my writing journey started.
I love that. So,
Yeah.
question about that. When you were writing, was there like a hypothetical like character that you were creating in your mind, or did you put yourself in these stories?
I never put myself in the story. My life is boring. So I don't know if anyone else has it, but I tend to have like a running story always in my head. So if I see a
Mhm.
person, if I hear a snippet of a conversation, I never just leave it, right? I'm in the grocery store, I'm in checkout, this lady does this thing, and I'm just like, ooh. And then what if this guy does? Like it's always like constantly what ifs in my mind, no matter where I am. Like that's how I pass the time, I think. But it's never me. It's always someone else, something I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah. I try not to put myself in stories. I don't want people to know that much about me.
Understood.
Yeah.
So, what can you say personally drew you to paranormal and
So
fantastical fiction?
my mom's a nerd, right? So she used
Mhm.
to always watch cartoons. So her favorite cartoon was X-Men. And
Yep.
then we used to watch Gargoyles together. And then she really loved like Star Trek. Like she was a huge so that's what I grew up reading.
Mhm.
And to me, there's never a lot of us in those stories. So to me, I want that. I want to be able to look at a show and be like, oh, that's us. And with our customs too, because you can color a person Black, put them in a story, but not have any of their culture with them. And so it's not as
Mm.
authentic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just it's just my mom, like watching TV with her sort of put me on that track to paranormal. Like, cause that's
Okay.
what she loved. That's what we love together. So
Okay.
Mhm.
I like that.
Gotcha. So I think you had mentioned before that you mentioned that these kind of areas aren't predominantly Black.
they,
A lot of
I
times
didn't
we're
see
not
it.
as
Yeah.
visible in those spaces as
Yeah.
we may be in other spaces.
Right.
A big thing that we talk about with the bookstore is sometimes we didn't see ourselves in the stories that we wrote, so we had to write our own.
Absolutely.
So, how do you think you're contributing to bringing more of the Black experience in this genre?
So the one way that I am very adamant about contributing
Mhm.
is when you read my book, there is no question that these are Black people. Like, these are not, oh, maybe if they were, no, I don't want to say the N word, but these is N words. You know what I'm saying? There's no mistaking what my characters are. And I did that purposely so that even if it was adapted further in the future, you can't be like, oh, I'll just put this person here and then not. No, these stories are specific to Black Southern people in particular. Like, I was very intentional with how I built my characters so that there's no mistake. And so when you read a book by Dria, understand them some Black folks. So
You know what you're
that was
gonna
my
do.
little,
Yes.
yeah.
And shout out to the South.
Hello, because we
Yeah.
are awesome people. Like,
Yes,
who would not want to tell our stories?
I'm telling you.
Honey, every
So this
book I
is
said.
something I talk to a lot of writers about and ask this question. So as you were creating these characters, did you find out any self realizations about your own life? Did you discover anything in creating these stories?
Yes, I have learned a lot about myself in creating stories, believe it or not, because a lot of my stories are family centric, right? I have a huge family, and so I center family. And in writing, you try, I try not to put myself in them, but I am able to see other sides and other facets and other characteristics of like family members that I may have perhaps dismissed or I didn't understand as
Mhm.
much. But when having to write a family dynamic on page, then you start to understand those like undercurrents of what's going on in family. Because again, I'm a person who in the corner, I never paid attention. I'm always reading, I never pay attention, to what's going on in the family. So as I'm having to write them, an uncle or a cousin may come to mind is like, oh, that's what they've been feeling. Like, it gives you a lot of empathy when you're writing other characters, I think.
I would agree.
Yeah. So
Definitely. I definitely would. One thing that is important to me, especially when we have conversations about Black writers
mhm,
telling Black stories
mhm.
for Black people and how the Black experience has kind of shaped kind of how we see the world and how we
Yes.
think and feel. And we were talking about the importance of imagination and you having
Mhm,
these running stories in your head and characters in
mhm,
your head.
mhm.
How do you feel imagination is experienced in the Black community? Do we see it as a form of freedom from maybe a society that we're not always feeling so warmly accepted from? Or do
Absolutely.
you feel like
Absolutely.
it's slightly a hindrance that maybe sometimes we're a little distant from our actual experience?
No, I absolutely feel like it is part of what makes us awesome, right? I think
Mhm.
that being able to find joy and imagination in your surroundings, even if you're like an oppressed person, is an amazing thing. Like, you can't really, nobody can do it like us, I feel like, because
Mhm.
we are in a position where we are always at the bottom of the totem pole, right? But in our
Mhm.
stories, we can imagine ourselves more. And what that does is often translate into you doing more in your regular life, right? Because you've written this story and this amazing story, or you've read this story and this person is doing these great things. So why not? What can I do in my life that can put me just a little bit better than I was yesterday? So I feel like it is part and part. Like, I don't find it a hindrance. I find it or almost like a freedom, right? Because now
Yeah.
I can imagine myself in this big world. I can see what this person has done. What can I do in my community that sort of parallels that fantastical thing, but bring it,
Yes.
into what I'm doing now? So you
Mhm.
might read about a vampire and then now you're like, oh, well, can I, start a food drive? Like, it's just little things that it just takes a little nudge of,
Yeah.
I don't have to live like this. Is that
Mhm.
little nudge you need sometimes?
I think that's a beautiful balance too of something that we do well. We
Mm-hmm.
are able to produce at a high level and we don't expect anything in return. We
Right.
produce for the art, for the story,
Yes.
for the love.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, can you dive into your favorite story? Just give us a little synopsis. Your favorite story that you wrote. Can you tell the
So
people what it's about?
okay. So I wrote a series. It's called the Georgia Arcana series. It's about three cousins who come home after years gone, right? Their grandmother has died and she has willed them her business, her house, and so they have to come home. And in coming home, you have to face your demons. You have to face all the things that you ran away from, that you weren't even aware you were running. You just thought you were growing, but you were really running. And so it's my favorite because it's a little more personal than all my other books are. The book is set in a small town in Georgia. It's a ginormous family. All the elements of my life that I could not explore, I was able to explore in this book. So it's about forgiveness. It's about holding on to traditions that you had no use for, but you circle back now that you're older to realize that this is like, you know, is at your core what you thought you had dismissed, I guess.
Yes.
I
Yes.
really love that series. Like, it starts with Surrender to the Moonlight, and like I said, she finds out her grandmother's dead, has been killed, and so she has to find out who killed her.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, because she's been gone so long, she has to now fit back, like notch herself back into family. And I don't know if you've ever left home and come back, but it's
Yes.
a hard thing to do, right? Because where you were as a
Right.
person is no longer there. So how do you fit back into this family? And so I love I love the story of that, because I left at 18, right? And I still go home every year. Sometimes I go for 2 weeks, sometimes I go, but every time I have to re-notch myself into that family unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I empathize with their journey.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I want you to define what is the whimsical Black girl, because that's me.
Listen,
And I didn't know that was me until I started seeing other people like this. I was like,
that's
hey.
that's the awesome thing about the internet. I didn't realize I was whimsical, and then I turned around and had a whimsical Black girl. And so the whimsical Black girl is one who finds joy in the smallest of things. She doesn't allow others to define what she should look like, what she should talk like, how she should, be in public. Like, to me, that's whimsical, right? You can wear your fairy wings, you can put on your little elf ears, you can put on an orange liner and have your hair, like, you do you, is how because we have our baddies or whatever, but there's a little bit of whimsy in it, right? I got lace on my dress, and now it's this big bouffant, and that's how I define whimsical. And I have to raise one, and let me tell you, I'm not even as, she's whimsical times 20.
Sounds like a good job, Mama.
Listen, I try to tell people that, to me, our generation with parenting is so much about breaking generational curses, right? Because when we were younger, I mean, I'm in my 40s, so when I was younger, there was no, can't do that, can't go out like that, we can't wear that, that type of stuff. And so I don't do that with my kids. And boy, does it make a difference, because they are free, if I could say.
You got any young writers over there?
Well, my daughter's she's a theater kid, so she does musicals.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Sons, yeah. We'll see how it goes.
So, as you are in your writing career now,
Mhm.
can you point out some differences from when you first started your writing journey?
Oh, yes. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you want to be a writer, you have to read, right? And you have to read a lot, and you have to read diversely. When I first started writing, and you can tell probably in my first like 6 or 7 books, I used to read, the Harlequins and the very traditionally published books.
Okay.
And they spoke in a certain type of way, very I don't want to say what I'm going to say, because it's going to be it was very code switching, right? We spoke very well, very eloquent. And then I read a book by Christina C. Jones.
Yes.
Okay. And sis said, not only am I not going to code switch, you finna get this blackness, how you going to get it? And every book after, it changed my life, because I was trying to appeal to a traditional crowd, right? So I want my books published. I want people to read them. And it has to be at a certain level for all races to read it, right? Everybody has to understand your book in order for it to go wide. And then I read CCJ, and I was like, oh, I can be authentic. I can write exactly as I am, how I present, and people will read it. And so changed my life. Every book after that
Mhm.
changed my entire outlook on my craft, I would say.
I
So
had
yeah.
the same kind of experience when I first started publishing. I was over conscious about errors, and then I started reading some New York bestsellers with errors in their book, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
So this ain't the end of the world. Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah. Well, because
fine.
we're harder on ourselves, right? We have to be 10 times better, and then we have to whitewash it and water it down so that they understand us. And CCJ was like, no, you're gonna get this book, and if
Mhm.
you are the right audience, you will understand what I'm saying. And that literally changed my life. So
Love that. So, well, question to expand upon that.
mhm,
When you were getting to the space prior to reading that book and changing your life,
mhm.
did you have fear? And then how did you overcome that fear?
So I I'm a I'm a nervous person anyway, so I walk with a general level of fear. Right? I don't want to do. I don't want to make the wrong step. I don't want to be perceived. I don't want people to say. I don't want people to talk
A
about me.
little
Right?
cautious, a little
Yeah,
cautious.
and so that's how I move about the cabin. And when you're, I used to be a photographer before this, right? And
Mm-hmm.
when you're dealing with people who are seeing their self in your art, right? I'm not just taking pictures
Yes.
of animals. I'm taking pictures of people. So they are seeing themselves in your art. You find yourself explaining more. Oh, well, I was trying to do that. Once I overcame that fear and just like, this is my art, I feel like I was a better person for it. So
Mhm.
that helped because once I got over there in photography, it sort of fell over into the writing as well. That took a minute. And even now I'm like, don't perceive me. Don't talk about my art. Like it's hard. It's a personal thing, right?
It is
So
So I guess
extremely
that's a
personal.
two-parter. So what
mhm.
is your relationship when it pertains to success?
Okay. So that's part of my little
Love
woo-woo
that
journey, right?
question.
Yeah.
That's part of my woo-woo journey because I'm trying to regulate my nervous system in a way where it understands that success is not a threat because it has felt that way forever. Like
Oof. Yeah.
that's what I'm doing now
Yeah.
in my 46, right? I'm trying to tell my nervous system that it's fine. You can be successful. It will be
Mhm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the answer to that question yet, but that's the journey I'm currently on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we time-stamped it, so we asked it. When you get it, let us
Right.
know.
Right. Do you have an idea of what you consider as success? Like, is there a moment that you're like, okay, no, this is it? Or are you already there?
Well, so that also is a hard question for me because I grew up poor in a very rural area, right? And so I'm living aspects of my life that I never thought were possible. And so
Mhm.
that in
Yes.
itself is a success, right? And I have to
Yes.
remind myself that I am successful in that I have brought myself out of this, small dirt road town into what I am in now. I mean, I have my own, like all these things that are success markers I have. But when it comes to writing, I'm trying to approach it differently. I would much rather have 6 fans who truly see my work versus 6,000 fans.
Yes.
But I still have to eat, right? And so I'm having
Right.
Still want that
to,
6,000 too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having to balance what I consider success because I do have people who engage with me about my writing, and that's huge for me. I love that. Sometimes I wish it were more because again, that translates into dollars to eat. But otherwise, I write for myself, and I
Yes.
hope people who like what I like join the bandwagon. That's how I have to go about that.
I think
Gotcha.
that's the beauty of what we do.
Hmm.
Being able to change people's perception just from
Right.
words, being able to put new visions, new ideas in their head, even
Yes.
inspirations. Something that I believe is when we are our authentic selves, it gives everyone else permission to be their authentic self. That's the best
Yes.
gift we can give,
Yes.
being
Yes.
true to us. So my journey was a lot similar. Like I was
Hmm.
reading James Baldwin, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I can't say this." And then I read a couple other. I was like, "Oh, I can cuss." Okay, like we're friends. Like, all right. And then I started to realize success for me is just being able to release the book, like being able to write the book, being able to have these
Yes.
ideas, being able to share it with someone. The kids going to school, like, yeah, my dad writes books. Like that
Yes.
is
Yes.
amazing.
Absolutely. It's such a good feeling.
That is
Oh
a pretty
yes.
amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. Oh man, you took me back down memory lane myself.
Mhm.
Because I know I grew up in a small town. But I was like still somewhat extremely shy, very quiet. I was writing forever and never considered it a thing. Never thought it was like a talent or anything. It was just something that I did.
Yes.
And so many people didn't know that I wrote. And I never said anything and would never read it to anyone, especially because who wants to hear what I have to say? But that was my voice. That was the way that I conveyed my opinion and how I saw the world and my thoughts and my feelings. So it was successful to me to be able to say that, to say,
Right.
hey, I am a writer, or I am talented in this way, or I'm gifted in this way. And then it went to a next level when I said I am a published author. I was like, wait a
minute.
What is that? So what I love about that is I always say in my woo-woo stuff that the younger Chloe could have never spoken.
Would have never.
She could have never. If I would go back and tell her now, she would say, "I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen. We're not going there." So I love it. I love how this journey turns out for all of us.
Yes. It's a growing path for everything. You don't expect it to be, right? You're just doing what's natural to you, and you don't even understand the leaps and bounds that you grow with every new story that you write.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So speaking of new stories, I hear we have a new story coming out on, what is it, May 22nd?
Yep, on Friday. Oh God, that's tomorrow. My God, today I am so nervous. I'm excited though. With every new release, it's always, will they like it? Oh my God, I like it. I don't know. It's nerve-wracking, but I'm excited. So this book is about
what's it
sounds so silly when I say that.
Tell me
it's about these two people, right? One's a tiger shifter, one's a panther shifter.
Oh.
One's an assassin, the other's a daddy's girl. And they meet each other. They realize that they are fated to be together. And now we have two worlds that have to come together, right? Lucky grew up in the hood. Ezra grew up in this very posh, sort of old money type of town. And now they're sort of trying to notch themselves into their world, right?
Yes.
But we're talking about assassins. You can't just go into that world. There's bumps and there's bruises that come along with them getting together. And then Ezra's trying to figure out who killed his grandfather on top of that. So there's a lot of outside drama that goes along with
So we're
it.
definitely engaged in this.
Very much so. I'm very excited about it. Let me tell you. As luck would have it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so nervous.
It sounds like a movie already.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how can we see this on the screen?
I would love to do that from your lips to God's ears, because that is my ultimate goal. Let me tell you. I want someone to look at that and go, I want to see this on screen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
to be continued on that, yeah.
Right. Because I feel like when we get movies about us that are paranormal, they're always scary. That's number one. And number two, they're never these type of creatures, right? You get those very traditional creatures where you're talking ghosts, you're talking demons, you're talking witches, I want to see someone who shifts from a man into a tiger. Let me see what they look like on the screen. I want to see how they look. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I want to see how a good looking guy toting a gun and gold grills look when he switches to a tiger. Talk to me about that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that on screen.
Yes.
So that's my ultimate goal.
Oh, we want to see all of it.
Hello. Because I can write a story about a witch, because the ones in Georgia that could probably be on the screen, but I want to see some wolves. There's some wolf shifters, some werewolves. I want to see that on screen. Yeah. That's what we're missing.
Speak
up. Love that. Exactly. Yeah. I got a couple of people in the back of my head I think could play that role too. We're putting it out there for everybody to be on the same.
I do this thing where I watch Tubi movies and I watch these independent films on Amazon.
Mhm.
And I'm like looking at him, like, he could play this guy. Yeah, he could be a good, vampire. Oh, he would be a good shifter. Like I'm constantly casting in my head. So that's my manifested. I've manifested to write this guy's name down.
It's on the way.
I think you could do that.
It's
Yeah, and
definitely on
then
the way.
we get first dibs on interviewing the cast
Yeah,
because
listen,
this originated, well, not maybe not originated,
but still, yes. Let me write it down. Chloe and Russ get to interview cast first.
Yes.
Got
yes,
it.
yes.
To get that roll call, we'll be there.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you. I'm so
You know,
I'm
Russ,
I'm
don't
excited.
you do a little acting
in
on
advance.
the side too?
Mm-hmm.
You do a little acting.
You gonna slide in as a shifter, Russ?
Yeah.
Put a grill in, and we can make it happen. Is all I'm saying. As a
I'll
matter
be
of
there
fact,
for sure.
my neighbor is on my book covers because I'm quick to be like, "Hey, you look handsome. Have you tried taking
Come
pictures?
here.
Because I'm a
Smile.
photographer. So listen,
Yes.
I had him and his wife in all type of positions. She was like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "Just for book covers."
She said, "Here, hold this knife and smile."
As a matter of fact, my cousin on The Crownless King, that's my cousin EJ.
Wow.
We were at home together at the same time, and I was like, "Cuz, I gotta go grill in the car. I need you to slip it on. Let me take a couple shots."
Do I want to ask why it was just in the car? That's none of my business.
Well, I definitely ride ready. You know what I'm saying? Cameras stay in the car. All types of things. Because you never know.
Yeah,
I never know. Somebody might look
good
on the cover and
He
might be
was
willing
ready
to take
that day.
pictures.
Yeah, those are the kind of people that make stuff happen, though.
Hello. You stay ready, right? Ain't got to get ready.
You don't have to get ready.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
what is the Crownless King about?
The Crownless King is it's a reimagining, right? Imagine during the height of slavery, all of the enslaved were blessed with power. I'm talking about fire power, earth powers, winds, vampires, witches. We were imbued, right?
Yeah.
Is that not a formula for an uprising? So now what happened, and it's so funny because it was based on a true event. I saw a random poster about this shower called the Leonid meteor shower. I forget what year it was, but it was so bad. They saw it from north to south. It was so bad that they were letting slaves go on the plantations in real life because they were like, oh, it's the end of the world. That's how many meteors had come down at one point. And so that, where did my mind go? Well, what if those meteors had, were from the celestials and they imbued the slaves with power and they were able to uprise themselves. And so what happened was a civil war. So in this world, the North is split from the South. The supernaturals own all of the Southern USA. And then the humans are up north. And in The Crownless King, Levi is a vampire who has gotten himself one of those meteors. It's driving him a little crazy. He's not supposed to have it. You're supposed to you're not supposed to have that much power, that much raw power. And so in the course of this book, he kidnaps his mate because she can control this power. It's part of her job to take those meteors and sort of funnel that power in a way that people can use it. And so he has the stolen power. She knows how to make this power usable.
Yeah.
And then so hot sex and suits is basically how that book goes. So
that sounds good too.
Yeah,
this is a series. This is not a movie.
It absolutely is. It is. I'm working as soon as luck would have it comes out. I'm working on book 2 of it. It's that whole world. I want to build a world where we completely run the South. That South is ours. We have borders up, dragons that guard the border. We have fairies that keep control of our trees and make sure our land is healthy. Like we have all these things. So I'm very excited. So should be fun. That one I can absolutely see on the screen. I see it in my head. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I saw it as you was talking about it.
I'm literally.
I'm like, I don't want to hear no more. I gotta read this book.
Exactly.
I don't want to know nothing else.
No, it's so funny because I remember thinking to a certain extent to be a creative, you kind of had to be what people would define as a little bit crazy. Because you have to see things that people can't see. You are hearing things that people can't hear. You're feeling and living this world that doesn't exist because you're creating it.
That's absolutely right.
Do you feel like a little crazy would benefit us more in this world where everything is
I
going on?
listen. I not only because the crazy exists, people just
Yeah.
don't channel it correct. Like I wish you would channel
Yeah.
it in a way that was helpful to others. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
got to weigh your craziness with empathy so that you want to improve
I love
society.
that.
If we were to do that, baby, we would be in utopia. If
That
we
is
could
the
channel that
shirt.
craziness, we would be in utopia. Because everybody got a little bit of autism. That's what my son calls it, a little bit of autism. We all
Yeah.
have it, right? We're all a little neurodivergent. Let's
Yeah.
just channel it into let's be helpful with it. Is what I
Listen,
ask.
you have 24 hours for the crazy with empathy shirt. You have 24 hours to put that out. Because that is it. And I will
I'm
be in
telling
the
you,
shirt for the
you
next
got
year.
ahead and do it, Chloe, and then send me the link.
No. All right. Well, y'all saw her give me permission for her idea.
Mhm.
So when
Documented.
the Good Life Bookstore is selling 1 million of these shirts, don't let
That's
Dria
right.
come in here
And
and tell you
I want
something
y'all to
different.
sell. I want y'all to sell 1 million of them too. I want that for you. That would be awesome.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I
This was
love that so much.
this was very enlightening.
Yes.
I'm glad we did this. I'm glad our intentions now is to meet new people and
Yes,
talk
I
with new
Mhm.
love that.
people, and
Yes,
we family now. So
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And I wish you all success. And I cannot wait till your bookstore to launch so we
yes,
Yes.
can put that out there and get all these
yes,
Black stories to the masses. Like that's a dream of mine.
Yes.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to leave with the people?
Um, I don't just read and read diversely and read us and tell your stories. Don't allow someone else to tell you how to tell your story. Tell it how you want
Yes.
to tell it, no matter how raw it looks, no matter what form it takes. Tell your story. That's what
Yeah.
that's what I would leave.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
What else
good.
can
Yeah,
you say after that?
Awesome.
that's
Oh,
a
tell us
wrap.
where we
Thank
can
you.
find you. Tell
Oh,
people where to find
oh,
you.
right. So you can find my stories on Amazon, of course. They're under
Mhm.
Dria Andersen. My website is driaandersen.com. And
Mhm.
I'm on most socials at author Dria Andersen. So you can find me there and all the shenanigans that ensue on those socials.
We're here for it.
Yeah, make
Awesome.
sure y'all follow.
Yes.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Y'all know where to follow us. Y'all know where to find us. Like she said, make sure you're reading, make sure you're communicating, make sure you're healing. I'm
Mhm.
Good Life for us. And who are
Bye.
y'all?
And who
I'm
are
Dria
us?
Andersen.
I am Chloe Simone. I'm the co-host.
It's another episode of Seen and Spoken. We'll see y'all on YouTube. We'll see y'all on the bookstore. We'll see y'all in the library. Peace.